Pastor Taylor here, coming to you from Christ Pewaukee with campuses also in Wauwatosa and Erin. Today we have an opportunity to talk about the humble beginnings of the church in Philippi. And the only reason why Paul, the Apostle Paul that is, was in the city of Philippi was because he had a vision of a man from Macedonia who said to come and preach here. So Paul had every plans to go right, and now he's going left. And when he comes to Philippi, I wonder if he was at all disappointed. Because there were no synagogues in Philippi. That was his normal mode of operation. Find a synagogue, reason with the Jews there about Jesus. But no, he has to go outside the city about a mile to a river, finds a group of women. He may not have been too optimistic about the future of this church, but it turns out one of those women was named Lydia. And Lydia was eager to hear the word of God, eager to tell her family about the words of Jesus that came through Paul, eager to have the Apostle Paul baptize herself and her family, eager to allow the Apostle Paul the use of her home as a home base in the city of Philippi. And what sprouted from that initial relationship was a wonderful congregation that Paul dearly loved. And they loved him. Even while Paul was on his missionary journeys, they're sending gifts to him. They're supporting him with their prayers. And even sending a member of their own congregation, Epaphroditus, to be with Paul when he was imprisoned in Rome. And the Apostle Paul, when he writes his letter to the Philippians, you can hear that personal, friendly, pastoral tone. It's not doctrinally heavy. It's a letter written to friends whom he loved. Friends, as you listen to the humble start at Philippi with that congregation, I want you to consider how the Lord can impact your life with his words if you let it. If you're eager to come and contemplate God's words as you listen to devotions, read his word, or sit in worship on a Sunday morning. What the Lord is able to do as you share the good news with other people and introduce him to your family and your friends, eager to grow in your support of and in service to God's kingdom. You just never know the grand things that he's able to do, just like he did with the Philippian congregation, with the Apostle Paul. A lesson from Acts chapter 16, verses 9 to 15. During the night, Paul had a vision of a man of Macedonia standing and begging him, "Come over to Macedonia and help us." After Paul had seen the vision, we got ready at once to leave for Macedonia, concluding that God had called us to preach the gospel to them. From Troas, we put out to sea and sailed straight for Samothrace, and the next day we went on to Neapolis. From there, we traveled to Philippi, a Roman colony, and the leading city of that district of Macedonia, and we stayed there several days. On the Sabbath, we went outside of the city gate to the river, where we expected to find a place of prayer. We sat down and began to speak to the women who had gathered there. One of those listening was a woman from the city of Thyatira named Lydia, a dealer in purple cloth. She was a worshiper of God. The Lord opened her heart to respond to Paul's message. When she and the members of her household were baptized, she invited us to her home. "If you consider me a believer in the Lord," she said, "come and stay at my house." And she persuaded us. That was the word of the Lord.